In today's world, social media is more than entertainment. It is communication, news, identity, business, and sometimes the only window to truth. But there are places where opening Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube is not only impossible, it is illegal. In this video, we explore the countries where social media is banned or severely restricted, why these bans exist, and how life looks behind digital walls. North Korea. Our first stop is North Korea, the most isolated country on the planet. Here, social media is not just banned, it is unthinkable. Citizens have no access to the global internet. Instead, they are limited to a government-controlled intranet called Kwangmyong, where every page is approved by the state. No Facebook, no Instagram, no TikTok, no YouTube. Not even basic Google searches. Every computer is registered with the government. Every phone is monitored. Anything that connects outward is considered a threat to the regime. Foreign visitors are allowed to bring their smartphones, but they can only connect to a controlled network designed to keep all traffic strictly observed. For North Korean citizens, the digital world simply does not exist, and that is exactly how the government wants it. Iran next. We move to Iran, where access to social media is a daily battle. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, X, YouTube, Telegram, and WhatsApp are regularly blocked or heavily restricted. The government fears the power of mass communication, especially during protests. Over the years, Iranians have used social media to expose violence, organize demonstrations, and share their reality with the world. In response, the state built one of the largest digital censorship systems in the Middle East. Still, many Iranians fight back using VPNs, proxies, and underground apps, but every connection carries risk arrest, surveillance, interrogation. In Iran, social media is not just a platform, it is a battleground between control and the human voice. Turkmenistan, far less known, but equally restrictive, is Turkmenistan, one of the most isolated dictatorships in the world. The government blocks almost all foreign social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, and WhatsApp are inaccessible to citizens. Even using a VPN can result in investigation or detention. Only state-approved websites are available, all of them praising the government. The president's image dominates public life, and all digital content is monitored. In Turkmenistan, the internet is a tool of propaganda. People don't scroll, they follow state orders. Myanmar. Social media restrictions intensified after the 2021 military coup. The new regime quickly targeted online platforms, especially Facebook, which was widely used to organize pro-democracy movements. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter X have faced blocks off, especially during times of protests. The government uses digital shutdowns as weapons, cutting off entire regions from the web. Journalists, activists, and even everyday citizens risk arrest for posts criticizing the military. In Myanmar, speaking online can cost your freedom or your life. Russia. Since 2022, Russia has increasingly blocked foreign social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and parts of Twitter X. The government labeled some platforms as extremist, making their use legally dangerous. The goal: control information related to politics, war, and public opinion. Many Russians still attempt to access blocked platforms using VPN, but restrictions are tightening. The digital space is slowly turning into a controlled environment where dissent is erased. While many of us open social media without thinking, millions of people live under governments that fear the power of free connection. For them, posting a photo, sharing an idea, or reading international news is not a right. It's a crime. These countries remind us of a truth we often forget. Freedom online is never guaranteed. And when a government controls the internet, it controls the narrative. A nation that silences its people online will eventually silence them everywhere. Although North Korea, Iran, Turkmenistan, and Russia are separated by continents, languages, and cultures, they share one powerful common trait: leaders who fear the uncontrolled voice of their people. Each of these governments uses censorship as a political tool. Each one restricts social media, not because of technology, but because of power. The internet connects people, and connection challenges authority. For these leaders, that is the greatest threat of all. In North Korea, the internet ban is directly tied to the ideology surrounding the Kim dynasty. Kim Jong-un rules through absolute control of information, of speech, of movement, of thought. If citizens were allowed to use social media, they might learn about freedom, rights, and the outside world. They might ask questions. They might demand change. So, the regime keeps the nation sealed, both physically and digitally. In North Korea, Censorship is not a policy. It is survival for the leadership. In Iran, the leadership sees social media as a tool of rebellion. The supreme leader and the Revolutionary Guard believe that foreign platforms encourage protests and weaken the regime's authority. When the government faces pressure from economic struggles, political unrest, or public outrage, online platforms are the first to be silenced. For Iranian leaders, the fight against social media is a fight against Western influence, opposition movements, and the free organization of citizens. Turkmenistan's restrictions reflect the will of its authoritarian leaders, who have built a personality cult around themselves. Government blocks social media to protect its image and prevent any form of criticism. Leaders here maintain power by controlling not only what people say, but what people can even know. Silence becomes loyalty. And loyalty becomes obedience. After the 2021 coup, Myanmar's military rulers feared the same platform that once helped citizens organize democracy movements. Facebook. The generals saw how quickly information spread, how protests grew, and how the world witnessed the violence. Their solution was simple: shut the platforms down. Control the narrative, and criminalize digital dissent. In Myanmar, the relationship between leadership and censorship is direct. Digital silence protects. The regime Russia's leadership has taken a similar path. As political tension and war intensified, the Kremlin moved to block Western social media companies, labeling some as extremist. For Vladimir Putin's government, controlling online information means controlling public perception. It means shaping patriotism, suppressing criticism, and limiting outside influence. The digital restrictions form a new kind of iron curtain, not made of steel, but made of ferrite. WALLS. Different leaders, different countries, different histories, but one shared belief: a population that can speak freely is a population that can resist. And so these leaders restrict social media to maintain one thing above all: power.